Hello and welcome to B Media, a podcast where we take real life, our real life, and use it to connect with you all on business, parenting, daily inspo, chats on today's most popular topics, and uplifting content given a faith-based and neurological approach. We're your hosts, Blair and Earl, always ready for you to join us to step into all that you were created to be. Let's go.
Welcome to the episode 6
Episode
of
6.
B Media. My name is Earl. This is my wife Blair, and today we're discussing about books, self-help books, and some workbook, even for my workplace that I use. That can be helpful and basically give us some new perspective.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's all about perspective today, so remaining positive.
Yeah. So these are the books we've read over probably the last 6
Where
months.
do you want to start? Yeah.
Or within
This
the
year.
last
This year.
This
I think
year.
this year.
Within a probably 6-month time frame, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, this year. What's the first one that you want to share and talk about that's really made a difference and impact for you?
For work, I read, a little bit of Gary Vaynerchuk. Not little, I should say. I watching his YouTube.
You listen to him all the time.
And I read Crushing It, and also Jab Jab, Right Hook, which is we also saw him at Aspire 2025.
Yep, back in March.
Yeah, back in March, and his book is about social media and just basically using it as a tool to connect with people. I think that's really powerful, and in a way that you can use your business to to grow. And I think that's the biggest challenge for me personally, is how to grow business without having a business background, marketing background, anything like that, and having kind of like his insight about social media and about posting. It's very powerful and helpful. Oh my goodness! I hope we can cut that. I hope we can cut that. And really, what his approach is: post it and don't look at it. Like basically, just who cares?
I
Like
think
if
we're in
you,
a world of overthinking too much.
yes, like just for me today, just hey, what are we gonna tell about podcasts? I have to be perfect. I have to be perfect. I think what I like the most that he recommend is just post it, just do it. Just don't even, just be you. And I think that's helpful. And I don't have to write so many scripts or anything like that to just really to just being me. I think his message, be you, and it organically can grow. And I think that's what really his focus is: organic social media. And for me, I don't have a background of social media marketing or anything like that, but reading his book, Crushing It, and Jab Jab Right Hook, it really opens a new realm of perspective in terms of business growth, self development growth. Because his also, I think his content is more towards just like find your passion. And finding my passion as an occupational therapist, how can I not pivot, but also really, it's not even standing out, but also how can I stay true to myself? I think that's what I like the most about him.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, daily, and God be the witness about this, I haven't been really reading consistently every day about the Bible. So reading the Bible, I think, really important. Though I'm not consistent, and I know how, when the day that I don't read it, or I, was so busy, just run out of the door and go to work. There's the day is a little bit more scattered. And I think being in line of, and this is more like spirituality aspect of asking God's wisdom is very important. And I think this, the attitude of gratitude. Every day His mercy is new. Every day there's a new abundance waiting for you. I think sometimes we can get ahead of ourselves and doing things on our own, and sometimes we need to partner with God to lead us to success. And that's what I've been really learning and working better to organize my time, which very challenging because I've been working like nonstop, and I'm not really complaining about my work because I love what I do, and that's the challenge. What do you do if you love it? You love it so much that some things kind of like fall apart in a way that you don't spend much time to those important things, like spending time with your family, like you know, reaching out to people, your old friends and stuff like that. And yeah, those are my challenge in general. Yeah.
So is this some of the books read? Like you're saying, Gary Vaynerchuk said, just put something out there. And I think a lot of things in life, we really are honed into making it a quality versus quantity. But some things, when we're trying to build something and start something new or become something new or integrate a new skill or way of going about life, sometimes it's more about quantity before quality. It's being consistent and actually doing it. The more we do it and get it out there, the better we're going to naturally become. So that organic piece of just going about it and throwing yourself into it, that's great. But when it comes to things like social media or trying to learn a new skill or trying to just kind of navigate a different path in life, the more and more we do it, focusing on the quantity will therefore bring the quality of what we're doing eventually down the road. Some of the books that I have read, just like Earl says, is that we try to be very consistent with reading the Bible every day. And I can very much agree that the days that I don't get it in the morning, there's a disconnect in how the day goes. It is much more scattered. It's less productive. So yes, as I was saying, is that basically if you start your day off in God's Word and you recalibrate your mind to the purpose He has for you, your day's going to go a lot better. That's where we left off. Two books that I have read that really stood out in this past year, or since the beginning of the year, is Speak the Blessing by Joel Osteen. Something that I really took away from that is the things that we want to happen in our life, the things that we want to become or we want to do, we have to actually verbally speak it. We have to believe in it, we have to pray over it, but we have to speak it. We can do it for ourselves and we can do it for others. But the more we learn how to speak it and tell ourselves those things every day, they will eventually begin and lead into happening. So the only way that we can actually live out the blessings in our life and whatever we pray for, hope, and wish for in our life, whether it's something we want to achieve, something we want to get, whatever it may be, something we want to happen, we have to actually speak it and pray it and verbally say it out loud. And psychologically, when we do that, and when we have faith and believe that God is going to answer our prayer, it's going to happen. And that's what the overarching concept of Speak the Blessing is. It's a very nice book. I definitely recommend it because it's very straightforward and it just kind of gives you a lot of insight on how to implement that in your everyday life and how it will start working for you. And I can say it does work. It's a very good book. The other book that I read, which I believe it could still be trending, it was trending at one point at least, is The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins.
Yeah, that's powerful.
I heard a lot about that book and I read the whole thing front to back, and I do recommend it. I will tell you, it is a very powerful book. It really sets you up in a place where you realize that the only sole thing that you can control is you and how you react to anything that life throws your way. You cannot, no matter how much you love,
and care for someone or something, you cannot change it until they are willing to change. And there's different things that we can do to support people that we feel like are broken, in a hard spot, trying to get through something in life and seem to just kind of be stuck. We can be there for them, but the more we try to intercede and pull them out of the mess that they're in, if they are not ready, it's not going to happen. So we have to let them. So this book really goes back and forth on giving, she gives actual Mel Robbins scenarios of her life, friends, family that she's had, and how just learning to kind of let it go, let them be, and how we can support them to kind of come around. But then also it kind of turns into, we let them and then let me do this. Learn how we can move forward, and we can have a really positive aspect on life to continue to reach our goals and where we want to go in life. And so it's a really good book that just kind of, you can kind of picture and visually get what balance looks like in life, and just letting go of things that really bring you down, put stress on your life, something that's constantly going in your mind. And it's not even on your plate. It's so out of your control that we just learn to let them deal with it and let us move on. And how can we keep going and keep going towards our goals when we want to, so we don't get stuck. So that's a really good book. That's just a very short way to put it, but actually reading it will really make an impact on your life, I'm very sure.
Well, I would add to that context, prior to that Let Them Theory book, it's the 5-second rule book that she wrote, where it really beats the procrastination of life, and the feeling, even giving yourself a sense of urgency to do things and be more productive. I listened to the audiobook, but I didn't read the book yet, or the 5-second rule, and that's another thing that she mentioned, in the preface and introduction of Let Them Theory book, is the 5-second rule book, because that stuff is powerful. And I know I gotta go practice it more. I know there's many times that, oh, okay, I know what this is. It's procrastination, and just setting things aside.
Oh, when she talks about counting down from 5.
Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, and
boom.
just make you, you don't question it. You just do it.
You just do it.
You move right ahead to whatever it is.
So that's really what another stem from that Let Them Theory, which is the 5-second rule book that she wrote, which is really powerful. The way she was in life, and I think it's really inspiring, and I know many people can relate to her story in terms of the struggle of life itself. Life's gonna bring you down to your knees. So, in many ways.
Yeah. Another book I did read, and I forget the author. I didn't write it down anywhere, and I could, grab it and somehow put it out on our social media somehow, so you could get the book if you wanted. But I read Doing Business God's Way. So there's actually one that I'm currently reading that has a similar title, but I did finish that one. And it gives you a good perspective that if you want to run a business or be a part of a business that is succeeding and thriving, the only essential way that a business is going to thrive and succeed, not given any time frame, because every time frame is going to be different, but the only way is if we are helping others by lifting them up, making improvements in their life, fixing a problem they have. But it really comes down to loving others enough to help them, and help them in a spot in life that they need it. And so it kind of just gives different, stories and scenarios of when we're doing business, we want to make sure that we have attributes of what God tells us to have. And if you want a business to be profitable or sustain and have success and be known as a good thing, then we have to have a business that is essentially at the forefront, the foundation of it all, is helping other people through their life, fixing one problem, multiple problems, or multiple things that they want fixed. It aids in helping others have a good life too. It's never just singular about us, and it really is. That's at really the behind it all. It's really at the forefront. What are we doing for other people in our community, in our nation, in our world?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah. Did you have other books that you were going to talk about?
Oh, a lot. I mean, not just looking at the Eighth Habit by Stephen Covey, which has really helped with leadership. And I hate that word in a way that it's very daunting.
Leadership?
Yeah, leadership. But in a way, it's just really understanding your intrinsic motivation. For example, I'm not just doing this to be famous, for example. There's more into that. Like I said, in my previous videos, like we're here to just support parents for essentially.
Yes. Well, the thing is that leadership can be a very, I think, dangerous term in action, because if leadership forgets the concept of partnership, then I feel like it's going to go down into flames. I think if people let an ego grow and become above others, I don't think, and leadership is being driven by that, you're not going to get very far. You have to remember that in leadership, you can lead, but to lead well and to lead down a long road successfully, you need to understand that partnership is the biggest part of that leadership. And we're currently reading a book that we're currently reading, Earl and I, and we're currently reading it together. We just started it. We're not very far in, but something that has stuck out and is very important is the book Good to Great.
Jim Collins.
Yes, Jim Collins. And he has a pyramid of levels of leadership. And your top level leader would be a level 5 leader. And essentially what that means is, are you building a business, creating a business that has scaled and been led, so when you leave, whatever that may look like, that business continues to go years down the road. And one of the very most important things is, in your business, are you taking care of the people that work with you? Do they feel fulfilled in their role? Do they feel like they have contributed to success in the company? Yeah. And it really comes down to the minute you have a mindset, or you take actions that leadership is, it's my way, my rules, the vision that I have, and everybody follow me, you're not going to get anywhere. You might as well just throw that right in the trash, because it really comes down to
so in terms of the companies, what we're doing here with other therapists I work with, feeling the therapists, who are they? Like, are they the right fit? I think that's the most important thing when, hiring or in terms of working together. It's the who. Basically, I think I like how he really emphasized on the company, did well because of the who's behind, not just the leader or CEO, for example, but also the people, and doing a lot of things to grow, or the same. They all contribute to the mission and vision of the company, basically, and they know that. And I think that's what I'm learning at Stephen Covey. Understanding a mission statement, understanding a vision. Yesterday we went back to review our mission and vision statement. Just kind of like, hey, we need to proofread this. What do you guys think? I need some feedback. Understanding that, how can we communicate what we're doing? I think that's the biggest challenge for me.
Yeah, and I think I was going to say, as we come to an end here, on any of our social media pages, we should have a link right there to our LinkTree that has some of these books attached right in there, if that's something you want to look into and read. And I think, reading's not always the most popular. I mean, some people really love reading and go to reading for relaxation. It's something they really love to do. But on the other hand, it's not always the most popular activity. But when you can find books that are going to make a difference in your life and make an impact, you're going to start reading and realizing that as I read these and as I become a new person, and I'm trying to become a better version of myself. I'm trying to start this thing that I've always had a passion and dream of. These books will help guide you and support you in doing all that. And that's kind of the reason why Earl and I read, because we have so much that
Right.
we have so much to
'Cause
learn.
we don't really come from a business background.
No.
We come from, I'm from the Philippines.
We don't come from a, I come from a background of you work very hard and nothing good comes from not working.
Yeah.
But I don't come from a background of start a business and run it with no clue what you're doing. So you have to have something when you decide to start something new and at its very bottom foundation, and you have a vision of growing it and scaling it into something big, you've got to have resources to go to and to learn from and to grow with.
Yeah.
And so that's why, we've read some of these books. We have books that we're going to read and continue to read, because that's how you educate yourself. That's how you grow. That's how you make an impact in your life.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds biased, but as a from the Philippines background, I feel like Filipino workers are known all over the world just because they're such a great worker, like work ethic, honest, and really do their best at their job. And and that's me. I still, I'm direct care still as a owner of this business, and I love it. I love taking care of people, doing the body work, really, striving to learn more about this realm of body work, skilled work that we're doing here. And yeah, it's not, building a business or starting a business is not, it's kind of like, it's not secondary, it's not mainstream. What's the right word for that? It's kind of like set aside because you're so wired to go work.
Yeah,
Right,
because
for someone else.
Nothing, if you own a business, nothing is going to keep it moving and growing other than you.
Yeah.
And where you're going is always ultimately unknown.
Yeah.
But if you want to have some sort of control and direction on that, that's why you have to be really engaged into just one resource, reading, and then there's a lot of other things to kind of be mixed in there to keep that business moving, growing, scaling.
And one of the things that I learned as a business owner is not like, me telling them what to do, but I actually work for them. It's like a reverse. I don't know if it's reverse
We all
psychology the right
work
word.
together.
Right, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I need to really be, mindful of, I need to work for them so they can be successful, so we can be successful as a collective.
Yep, very much so.
Instead of just,
Very much so.
going our own.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I have a few books that I've been, reading or in the midst of reading. I finished reading Bob Proctor, You're Born Rich. He was talking about, saying, the
You
the
have
positive
to
things. Say it.
speak the blessing you want.
Speak the blessing you want in your life. Bob Proctor approach is the frequency and your mindset, and also writing it down, your goals, writing down what you want in a piece of paper that you can see it every day. It's kind of like the law of attraction, and as a Christian background, that's got a little bit woo woo in many ways, but I learning that it's not actually woo woo in some sense. I have to be careful on this because it's very it's very controversial all over YouTube. Everything is like controversial, but in a way like the way Bob Proctor um, mentioned in the book how and I think what his focus in the book is having faith, because if you that is the faith, God give us the ability, unlimited abilities to do things.
Yes.
And I think that's what really is the book. If you really, instead of just because we think of abundance as monetary, those are secondary. But knowing that, having a faith and just going, believing something strongly that, okay, I want to start a business to help.
Because I think law of attraction can very quickly become very self-centered.
Right.
And we don't want that.
Yes.
You're not going to get very far with that. So
yes,
having faith,
so, yeah,
because we have to realize that everything we have good and everything that's to come good comes from above.
Yeah.
So it can't ever be self-centered. It has to be faith-centered, Christ-centered.
Amen.
Yes.
So this is Marketing by Seth Godin, and his work is really powerful instead of your typical marketing. And I think Gary Vee also, pushing in this too, in a way that you building a community of same interests, same value. And I think it's easier, more. It's not about selling, but also having that community. And I think that's why today's world is more like, community kind of like based online, because of kind of like what Seth Godin is kind of like. For example, I love Pokemon cards. You talk about Pokemon cards and, build a community around that. But in healthcare, how can you build a, when I was working on the flip care, how can I build something that, people can feel like it's a movement of, oh, we're changing the healthcare in the United States, X, Y, and Z. I think it's really good. It's like I don't have a marketing background, and having that book is really eye opening. And same with 0 to 1 with Peter Thiel. I said a lot of people don't like him, but he's built companies that probably or invested in companies that probably trillion worth of dollars now. Who knows?
Yeah.
I also read the Video Way, and speaking of trillion-dollar companies, learning from Jen, I think his name is Jensen, and Jensen was a dishwasher. How can you run $4 trillion company? I think about the Video Way is so crazy that they work 7 days a week for like 14 hours, 15 hours work shift. And that's why they're so good of what they always stay ahead in terms of the chips that's gonna be needed for our device. They're already 2 steps ahead of, because they work so much. That's their work culture.
Yeah.
And I think, that's really powerful. And, the way they become their $4 trillion company is the most, NVIDIA. That's a powerful book in terms of their story, their background, because, we're not aware of how to build a company. Like, he's just a dishwasher,
Yeah.
I think it's something people can relate, that you can be someone having that strong, faith, leadership. It's gonna go, along the way. There will be luck. Just don't give up attitude.
That's right.
And the video almost to bankrupt, so but they didn't give up. So, anything else you want to end this?
I think that's it.
Thank you for listening, guys. And if you like this episode, please share and like. And we're here to support your growth, our growth, and I think just spreading positivity in the world that is very stressed.
That's right.
And thank you, guys. And
see you next week.
Thank you so much for joining us on B Media. If you found this episode helpful, we would love for you to share it with someone you love and leave us a review. Connecting with others is what it's all about. So connecting with us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until next time, live each day with passion and purpose, being exactly who you want to be. Bye.